just go into that, but I mean, Bristleback is amazing against melee heroes because they can't come up to the wave. Once they have stacks on them, they just have to run away. So, I mean, Bristleback's really great for that.
Well, we'll see if Fnatic's got what it takes. It's kind of down to the wire. They're one game down up against Alliance, so it will be all down to this one. Will Fnatic be able to push it to a third, or will they be headed down into that third place matchup, which will be our first game tomorrow here on our live stream? Hopefully everyone is tuning in all around the world, enjoying the coverage. We're coming to you live from X Games, which is in wonderful Texas. You could say it's heating up here, you could say.
Dear Lord, it is.
Oh, yeah.
I actually didn't know it was that humid down here. I thought it was going to be a little more on the dry side, but...
And if you want humidity, talk to Team Fnatic. They'll tell you what humidity is about.
I used to live in Louisiana, so I know a little bit about it.
I've never been to Louisiana, but I've been to Singapore and Malaysia many times, and holy Hannah, like, you can have a shower while walking in air. That's how great it is. Alright, so Fnatic, well, if you're worried about Alliance contesting him up against a tri-lane, Mad's going to scout it all out, but will he get any slow? Okay, KOXY went Aura. He doesn't have cold arrows, which means Mushy cannot get in range. And this will mean that Mad will be able to survive. What a great choice to go Boots first.
Yeah. You do not want to skill up Frost Arrows either. Like,
yeah.
Most of the time these Drows these days are not getting that.
Which to me, like, okay, I had a debate with, who was I debating it with? It was either Blitz or it was with Cap. It might have actually been with someone else while we were casting the other day. And it was the debate about if Drow Ranger's cold arrows really make sense to bypass. Like, what do you really get for 2 points up in stats that you wouldn't get out, like, that you wouldn't get out of 2 points up in cold arrows? Because you can't kite.
Yeah.
It was Nahaz. I was having the debate with Nahaz. It's like, okay, so you can't kite. In fact, you get kited because of this. Does it really make sense to get the 2 points up in the stats?
I mean, we could go into a huge debate about this and talk for a long time, but I think the short answer rather is that the stats are more important because it gives you more agility. You're probably not going to be fighting in fights much anyway, and usually if you go for Saint Inyasha, the chances of you proccing are probably pretty high anyway. And also to supplement that, a lot of people will actually go Scotty eventually on Drow, and if that's the case, then you absolutely don't need the Frost Arrows. But I mean, that's a long discussion that could be had. But they're actually going to go aggro tri-lane here.
Yeah,
for Fnatic.
It's kind of weird to see Fnatic do something like this because they don't have any. Yeah, you were saying before, Drow Ranger doesn't have any levels of control in the lane until she gets up in like higher levels. That's if you're going cold arrow, frost arrows, as well as looking in towards the gust. And the Visage needs time because he's just got Grave Shield for now. As you were also saying, his movement speed is kind of crap, so you need to have something to offset that. And the Grave Shield is one way to do it. And then you got Johnny. He's a one-man stun wonder up against a DK. A Rubik control and the Illuminate spam when you also didn't block up the pull point. So Arcade's managed to stack this and now pulls through, so the creep wave will be denied, you're going to lose the momentum, and KOXY won't be able to find the farm. I'm really not sure about this tri-lane.
It doesn't help that he's missed like 3 CS already, which can be a little bit difficult with Drow's attack animation early on. Loda taking a little bit of damage, nice full duration stun there, actually taking a ton of damage.
Yeah,
one more
Johnny,
he actually,
the
salve and the level up helped him there.
Just keeps him alive for the moment. He didn't actually skill up anything when he leveled up, so he didn't go for the Dragon Blood, but Loda will still walk all the way back to base. And you do see the Drow Aura kicking in a little bit more. That was just a bonus extra, like 18 damage on the bottom lane, but it was enough to bring DK very, very close to death.
Really nice stun there. The full, I don't even know if I said duration, but the full length of that stun actually getting the full effectiveness out of it.
Well, Matt's going to pick him up and throw him back towards Johnny. He's fine here. But it's just Keychick who's blocking up the camps now. With 3 players at it, you'd expect them to control the runes, but Matt's been able to just slip himself through and pick up that bounty. As Mushy will grab himself an illusion rune. How's that mid lane looking? Pycat as the Queen of Pain, 10 for 3 up against 11 for 2. It's not too shabby for both sides.
It's a relatively even matchup. Both players can win, but once you get to level 5 uncontested on Shadow Fiend, he can just spam out waves, so... There is potential there, of course, though, for Quap to get the kill.
Well, the answer about if you go for cold arrows of KOXY with an aggro tri-lane, the answer is yes. There's also another thing too, which I know Blitz was flagging to me with the Keeper of the Light. When you're up against a lane like this, like sometimes you get the advantage by pushing the lane underneath the tower.
Right.
And Drow Ranger, it's already hard enough for her to get a last hit underneath the tower with her attack animation as well as the damage isn't bad, but it keeps the push coming, the harassment of the heroes, and just makes farming almost impossible. And levels doesn't really matter because you're splitting it 2 or potentially 3 ways.
Yeah, they don't care about creep equilibrium here for Alliance. They've actually just spamming out both of their spells. And Rubik isn't even there. He's actually walking all the way up top. So if they can get enough damage and some good stacks onto Ohio up here, they can definitely get this kill. We'll see, though. I don't know if he's been gone for a long time and he hasn't shown, because their only ward is all the way bottom and then of course in the lane. But that actually hasn't seen Mad just yet.
Bulldog starting it. So Mad's only got a 1-1 combo, but with the creep wave under the tower, he can just walk in close. There's a 1 quill spray stack, make that 2. Ohio can't get the Fissure off. Fadebot throwing him back. The Fissure will come out, but it doesn't do anything. Bulldog even back up to it, didn't attack him, and then turns the back. There's your first blood. Bulldog with the back turn means he also won't die to the tower attacks. And that's a good start for the offlaner.
You know, with him taking the aggro from that tower, I wonder if even he could have got that kill, if that stun actually hit Bulldog. It would have been closer, for sure. He would have got an extra 125 damage plus the aftershock.
Okay, I don't know if you saw that one.
I missed it.
There was a Visage sitting back here. Okay, there was a Visage.
Pause.
I can't draw on the map anymore. There was a Visage sitting right to, just to the right of Loda, and Connor was sitting down the tree line, not visible, threw out the Illuminate, and it was a level 2 Illuminate on a Visage on 1/3 HP.
Oh god.
It hits, he dies, he thought he was safe, but the range of that Illuminate is just so big. And now you actually give a kill to a Keeper of the Light who's running this safe lane. And this may even be... Actually, is this one of these games where you look at a Coddle to not go Tranquils and maybe go to Arcanes just because of... You want to be breathe firing out all the time as the DK?
Possibly. I think there's a very good case for it. Especially on heroes that really need the mana. Like DK needs it heavily.
Because he's not bottling, he's just going to string a Basilius.
Your Bristleback is always going to need that mana from start to finish in the entire game. And the thing about Bristle and DK actually for that matter is these are heroes that don't build into mana items. Like that, hardly ever. Maybe the Shiva's late game, but that's the closest thing you're going to get for Bristleback. And then perhaps the drums, but that's not that much into. So look at that damage he's putting onto Ohio again.
Yeah, they're going at it. The Fidget this time going to connect an Admiral Bulldog, but 3 cool spray stacks. He needs just 1 more attack, and Johnny's going to arrive for the Hex. Ohio, he knows he can't do anything about this. He does have 8 stick charges up his sleeve, but there's no point turning and trying to fight this. You can throw out 1 fish, but it's not going to kill Admiral Bulldog. He's getting closer and closer towards completing up this Vanguard. As he mops up the creep wave, is even better. Actually, he did trigger... No, well, Ohio, careful. Now he'll trigger the stick charges.
He is up to 19 CS, which is not bad, but obviously you're seeing this. The Bristleback versus this lane is just... you can't really win it. Melee versus Bristleback is very difficult, unless you're maybe like a Tide, but even then it's still quite hard.
Again, RK was capable of stacking and pulling. He's not only just getting experience from this, because Keeper of the Light is such a great jungler, once he gets a couple levels, of course, but you're able to do this. Like, Lotus managed to drag the creep wave back between the towers, so he's able to hold up his own creep wave. Fnatic is so far away, the Drow Ranger actually had to abandon. She's gone top lane up against Bulldog. This is what had to have happened. There's no other choice for them. And Mad around the corner, you'll find Mushi. I don't know if he really wanted to. Can drag it back. Now Pycat jumps in. Sonic Wave's available, but the Rays number 1 and 2 going to connect. Pycat, a very injured man with Illusionary in the Fissure. He can't blink. The Soul Assumption damage will get the pick off. A good hero kill in for Fnatic. Mad, still in the neighborhood. He's got no abilities available, but he's got also Admiral Bulldog right behind him. Now the stun. Admiral Bulldog is his back turned. How much damage have they got? The Soul Assumption is there. And if Mad's got telekinesis, yeah, he does. They pick up the Visage and they'll shut him down. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but you still killed off the Queen of Pain. You slow down Pycat's momentum.
Yeah, that was an interesting blink there from Pycat, because he blinked in aggressively, but then the second he blinked in, he just ran away. So I think he was anticipating just putting out more damage with the screen, but it is only level 2. And he just saw the quick reaction there from Mushi to just turn it right when he blinked in. So bit of a mistake there, but nice rotation also from Bristleback coming down once he saw Ohio was missing too.
That cleaned up the rest of it. Loda's still having all the space in the world down the bottom lane, which to me feels a little bit weird for Fnatic, because you got the Earthshaker who comes to the bottom lane up against DK. Now DK's even got kill potential up against him when he's got mana, but it's the fact that Dragon Knight's now going to hit level 6. So your Dragon form, they're purposefully giving him space to find these levels so DK can start pressuring into buildings by himself.
There's a way that KYXY up here can actually get a kill on Admiral Bulldog if he's a little bit limber about it.
Loda.
Oh no.
Grave Chill. Johnny with the stun. Loda, now it's up level 6. He buys the TV scroll. The Raze misses. And they don't have another stun. They have a Hex, but no Grave Shield. Mushi will come in range. There's your extra stun. Coming from from the fissure. The help is there from Pycap, but the Illuminate doesn't hit into Fnatic. He needed more time to get around the tree line.
And top, Admiral Bulldog gets the kill for free. He might die. There's not a stun up from Ohio, and he just gives up. So a very, very nice dive there from Bulldog. I actually thought that KYXI was going to get a kill if he could play his cards right, but man, the stacks were just adding up, and he just went for it.
So Admiral Bulldog gets a solo kill on the Dro Ranger. He finishes a full Vanguard 8 minutes into the game on a Bristleback, and he's already up at level 8.
Well, at least for Fnatic's sake, he doesn't have any like huge ancient stacks. In fact, he's got none. But I mean,
he's going to take buildings. Like that's what he's going to get. Because the Dragon Knight's got level 6, so bring in your physical damage, bring in that Warpath stack up, and just push down bottom lane. You'll take a tier 1 town. Nothing will stop him. Like, what can Fnatic really do as far as counter push goes? The SF doesn't want to get involved. He's too busy trying to take up his stacks. He also just used the DD room, which might have helped him. The Dro Ranger, yeah, she's level 6. Maybe you could find yourself a trade-off for the towers. That's one way you could approach it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, their real only counter push, or D push, I should say, is Earthshaker. But that's one Fissure. Like, yeah, that's one Fissure. It's got a relatively long cooldown too, 15 seconds.
Well, now it's Alliance. They are grouping up, but not in the lane I thought they were going to go to. And so they come to the lane where KYXY was looking just to have a little bit of like peace and quiet, retirement village kind of style. Then they pick up the Visage, throw it back. The Illuminate's coming into. It'll connect with the Sonic Wave to ensure the kill on the Visage. Pyke actually blinking in for that. Potentially getting caught out by Ohio, but now is KYXY back behind the tower, the only place where it's safe. And luckily for him, that Radiant Creep Wave didn't push up yet. But Alliance are coming here for the tower, while Loda is smoke and mirrors. He's pushing at the bottom lane now with the DK ultimate. KYXY, Shadow Striked up, Admiral Bulldog's in the middle of this one, and Dro, well, no aura, no damage, and no life. She is dead underneath the tower.
This has turned into a disaster early on. Like, their supports have nothing either. It's not like, well, at least we're going to have a really farmed Visage or, you know, some kind of jungler. Visage actually doesn't have a last hit to his name, just got his first one just now. I guess he's almost level 6, but this is kind of spiraling out of control right now. It needs to be Mushi. Oh, they actually get a Fissure block.
He's got a Blink Dagger so he can catch down. Echo Slam as well. Blinding Light gonna force him back. And now Admiral Bulldog's got a chance to run. One shot is triggered. Mushi winds up the ulti. Admiral Bulldog still living through a hell of a lot here with the Illuminate. Ohio down to 40 life. His charges are on cooldown for the moment. Mushi will give him a bold charge. And it takes so much just to kill off Admiral Bulldog. They committed a full Requiem in the first reveal of the Blink Dagger from SF.
I think Mushi just wants to take over the game, and I think that Blink might be the right decision. I don't, like, because if he goes for a mech, I don't think they can group up with these heroes with this rate. Like,
and not against the power of Alliance. Like, one Illuminate is basically what the mech would repair.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not enough. So I think this is the right decision.
He couldn't get into a BKB either. It'll take too long.
You maybe go for Yules too to maybe get some free pickoffs onto the Quap. That's maybe an option. At this point, I think it's just going to be Blink, go back for the Treads, and then build a BKB. I think that probably has to be it. The good thing about this build is that he doesn't really have to build too much into damage, because that's going to be supplemented by the Drought Aura. Not so much now, but it will be pretty big later. But yeah, this is probably the right route to go.
Ahai is coming down for a kill over on DK. Dragon Form's on cooldown for one more second, but Loda, he's just out of range for the long Dragon Form stun. And there's more support from Alliance that also TP'd down here. The tower's pretty low, so it's more of like a gold secure. Is he going? Yeah, Admiral Bulldog's going again. He's back behind the tower, forces the TP in from Mushi, jump in, into the body block, while following up with the Hex. There's no stop for 3 more seconds, but there it is from the Fissure. Down control, Bulldog, but no! The Claw Spray actually kills off the line before he starts a bubble, and now they're trying to pull him out of here. The attack will come in, he takes damage, so they cannot get him away to safety, but they get a 1-for-1 trade-off, and they secure the bottom tier 1 tower. And they can go further.
They can, because they use TPs, and even without the TPs, I don't think they could have stopped this necessarily. DK ult form is up for a good duration too. Wow, if they could have maybe planned the call, the send back, whatever it's called. I can't even recall. It is a really long duration, level 1. It's 5-second delay, so probably didn't get it, wouldn't have got it anyway. But nice try, and like I said, space created, a ton of space created.
Yeah, they took out half of the life of the tier 2 tower and the tier 1 tower, and even managed to snipe themselves off a familiar from Kichik, because he was using them to try and slow the attack.
I wonder if Mushi just goes bots here. Like, he hasn't bought his treads yet. It leads me to believe maybe he just goes. Oh no, he bought his treads. Okay, never mind.
I've passed my curse onto you now.
Yeah.
Don't hold on to it for long, man. It's not happy times.
This hot potato curse. Send it somewhere else.
How are we looking actually for Pycat? He's walking around with 1,800 gold. Like, you would assume if he was going to go in for an Orchid, he would have started like a half of an Oblivion stamp already. So does that mean we're thinking about nagging him Scepter for the Queen of Pain instead, or is BKB more viable up against Fnatic in this game?
I mean, BKB is amazing here. The other option is like to go for the Rush Yules so that the silence doesn't do anything, but that doesn't stop an instant Hex, right, from Lion or a long-range Fissure, which can catch people off guard because you can't see it because it's so long-range. So I think rushing the BKB is totally fine.
We've basically got a whole bunch of pack smokers right now. Alliance group up as 5, while Fnatic, they move as 3. Over towards the Radiant jungle, but they're basically gone like ships in the night, straight past each other. They're moving over to Mad, who is the poor man farming up the mid lane. The smoke, well, it's going to break because Pycat's nearby. He doesn't blink in time. Finger of Death will be there with a Soul Assumption. Follow Fidget Echo Sound. They control up Mad, but the instant buyback comes out from Pycat because Alliance want to try and fight this one. Admiral Bulldog chasing down Johnny, but it's Arcade pushing Mushy back. The Requiem of Souls not enough to get the kill for the blinding light, making it very difficult to finish the job, but Mushy still with the double kill, and Loda battling up against Visage, but Visage has basically spawned his children, and they will do a lot of damage to Loda as they come back up. You can at least get the regeneration room bolted up, and this will buy space for Loda to potentially get back in the fight. Pycat with a Sonic Wave helps Admiral Bulldog to get a double kill, and Mad so low on life. There's still a triple kill for Mushy, but he's on the wrong side of the tracks, or in this case, River blinks down, TP's away. Now he's on the right side. Ohio with the Fissure, keeping Pycat back, but he gets in front. Scream, Shadow Strike, needs a goo. Basic's being gunked up with everything they possibly got, making a run for the agents. A potential denial here, and he's going to be successful. The Earthshaker denies himself to the Thunder Lizards. So that's a great fight for Fnatic.
Yeah, those buybacks ended up being not very useful. I mean, Mads was a complete dieback. He diebacked, so they both bought back there. Pycat only got 1 kill out of that, and it's probably a kill that we're going to get either way, although the damage from the ultimate is pretty substantial. But, yeah, I mean, really, really big stuff. Mushi's just playing so well. You can tell he really, really wants this.
Stay in, man. It's the first time that Fnatic has made a showing publicly with this name.
Yeah.
And they've also got a lot of haters behind them. Obviously no one in Malaysia, but all of those rave fanboys are always like, why did Fnatic get invited? Why do they deserve to get a slot into TI directly? And they've got a lot of reasons to win this game and to just silence those critics.
Yeah, and he is just going to rush the BKB. I think this is the build this game for sure. Like I said, the damage will come from the Drought Aura eventually. I mean, it's not bad right now, but it's also not great. And then after this, I would think Scotty would be very, very substantial against the 2 tanks, the Dragon Knight and the Bristleback, to help kite him around. Just make yourself really, really tanky. You can actually just... The thing about Queen of Pain is that many times you want to blink in very, very aggressively and just spam out your spells and make them run away. But if they're not running away and you're not doing enough damage, it's very, very easy to turn onto him. And he is going to go for the Ags to answer our questions from earlier.
Here comes Fnatic. They're looking for an opening. And Alliance, well, they got a Sentry Ward in the side, but that's not going to help them break the smoke. Now it will. Arcade, he saw Johnny, they instantly ping it out, and they move to the dire side of the river. Or do they? Yes, no. You just said Admiral Bulldog and Loader to get double stunned by Johnny. Ohio with a Fissure separates Admiral Bulldog from the rest of his team. He still wants to have a look around, keeping his back turned. 14 one-charges and a Crimson Guard, with Arcade holding on to Blinding Light. The Illumin's actually going to hit on most of Fnatic, and I think, yeah, they see this coming, and they already bail out. They don't want to fight it, while Pycat, that tier 1 tower, Mushy missing the denial on the tower. And Admiral Bulldogs, you want to keep pushing with no tower. They do have the command of the territory here, especially when Fnatic is split up as much as they are, but they've got the movement speed to escape the Alliance train.
And Loda's going for a very non-farm build too. Just looks like he's going to rush the BKB as well, which signifies like a kind of death ball strat with this kind of heroes. And if that fails, you got to be really, really careful for the late game potential. Like letting Drought Visage get back in this game after a terrible, terrible start. I mean, it looks kind of funny to think that Fnatic would have the late game, but the way that the items are coming out for Alliance, that's how it would shape up if they fail a push. That's one thing you have to be careful about and think about before you go for this push.
Well, wait and think. They did a lot of that during game number 1, but don't do too much of it in game number 2. With more
yes, has a blink.
With more kills than minutes.
Spading this line down here, it looks like.
It's just too obvious, though. Like, why would the Lion be out past where a tier 1 tower doesn't exist when he has no blink dagger? Like, you can smell that something's wrong. And Ohio, he's looking at him. He really wants to jump. Blink, Echo Slam, Mad still here, but he's going to get the pickup, not in time. They finger of death him down. And Mad, no steal, he only got the totem stop. That's not enough. And Ohio, the scream, it doesn't hit in time. He'll get away to safety.
Very nicely played. And that is one of the drawbacks of Alliance's draft. Without the DK stun there, there's really, in the lift, which is already used, there's no way. Oh, Bushi.
He's deep. He's very deep. Blinding Light's going to make it so almost impossible to get the last hit in the tower. He'll get picked off, in fact, by just the catapult. The Bushi's not done yet. He's got Mad. High ground. Requiem. Boom! The drafter from Alliance gets obliterated. Wow. The mushy wind up.
And they got the top tower with the birds as well. So things are going very, very well for Fnatic now. And Drow, like, yeah, herself, she's not a great late game carry, but she's going to provide so much damage for her heroes. Podcat's in Viz right now.
He's
has a
Sonic
level 2 ulti, yeah. This could be big.
KOX should have known this though. Because Pycat came in so close that he lost the aura for it. And now the Fisher will fly. Pycat was only waiting for that one. Sonic Wave line isn't quite right, but now he's in range. Sonic Wave and Scream. Can't find the kill straight away. In fact, he's going to get silenced with a Gust. Arrow Bulldog will turn on that Crimson Guard so he can chase him deeper. Quill Spray time up. Needs to go on KOXY. In by yet only the choice to body block. He couldn't do anything else. Now the run back out again. Fisher, Illuminous, it's only hurting out Mushy and Johnny. And Arrow Bulldog will survive. 180 life. Pycat didn't see another way to get in. He didn't have the mana for it. As everyone's having a little bit of a ping issue.
I was going to say, that was a really questionable raise by Mushi. He used the C raise there instead of the obvious melee one, so there must have been some kind of lag. Which sucks, of course, but I'm sure it'll be fixed in a second. But yeah, you saw the damage output. He used his entire arsenal of spells there from the Quap and still wasn't able to really... I mean, yeah, they got the Visage eventually, but it took some time and it took the aid of Bulldog, so... That's
he took 3/4 off him.
Yeah.
Like that was it. But it was a level 2 ultimate, and he doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter upgrade as well. So you're only 900 gold away from that. I know we're not really looking to increase the damage with this. Like it's up by a little bit, like up to 575 if you can get to that.
Yes. Sorry, I'm checking ping as well to make sure everything's squared away. But yeah,
we should be fine. You're too much of a player. Because at this point as a caster, you realize you don't control anything.
Yep.
Like, what have we got? Well, I don't know. Valve released a patch. They actually released a patch halfway through one of our games the other night.
Don't you ever sometimes want to step in when there's a dispute and, like, you know, put your foot down, but you can't? Oh, God.
And originally, yes.
But now you just sit back and watch it all, huh?
And then I realized that I just... Like, you become the bad guy for everyone. And
that's true.
So we just make tournament admins to be bad guys. They get the hatred. I'm just here like, boys, I don't control anything, but I'll try and help you out as best as I can.
It's the job they signed up for, right?
Yeah, it is. It's the thankless job, the no-love job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good luck pushing again, Mushy. Again, we go into this position where, okay, Mushy's controlling the battle nicely. He's looking very, very good for net worth. He's over 10,000. So we have a very good BKB SF. But you got a BKB pretty early on. He's on a 10-second duration, 20 minutes in, that's fine. But you think about it, how can Fnatic get up on high ground? Does it turn into this familiar... It's like split push thing with the Dro or a buff up. When you're going up against Breathe Fire, Sonic Wave with Aghanim's upgrade, Illuminate, Feybolt, all these wonderful like creep wave controlling abilities and creep wave clearing abilities they've got. Like, how does Fnatic end this?
If it really comes down to it, yes, they can do split pushing with the birds. But I think it's going to come down to more of like getting a pick off with, like, they have great pick off between Lion, who almost has his blink now, and the Earthshaker. That will always, oh, Drow Ranger gets a kill. And another kill, actually, second one, as they weren't able to get away fast enough after lingering around that tower.
I'm really surprised they stuck around that long because Pycat and Loader abandoned that lane. They were going in top lane. They saw Johnny for a little bit and knew the TPs were coming in and just bailed. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication slipping in here for Alliance.
And that's going to be Roshan too. So Ketchikimba, who now has that medallion. He's had it for a little bit, for some time. Oh god, Roshan dies so fast with these heroes.
Yep. And Drone Ranger loves it. Absolutely loves it.
And they're on Dire, which is just like an added bonus.
Oh, top lane, they're battling it out. Ohio looks like he actually blinked himself in for the stun. The Pycat and Loader are okay, they're down to half life. But they're able to get away to safety. That's a big pickup now for Fnatic. Lion now has his Blink Dagger. So that's that Blink X. which could just make any kind of BKB, like the one DK is a better finish, it could just make it a nerd.
Yeah, it's... So that's what I'm saying, like the late game, their potential to pick someone off is always going to be irrelevant.
Man was just starting the channel to grab Mushy. He was walking down right in front of the Radiant Observer Ward with no vision of this high ground area and thought he was completely alright.
And Mushy has a haster now bottled who he could, I don't know, this Bulldog is pretty damn tanky. He's got a Sange now on top of that, waiting in his stash. But I really think Scotty would be quite good for Mushy. He could also go for just the straight up butterfly if he really wanted to, which is actually quite nice as well. It makes him attack so damn fast. It's not even so much about the evasion in this kind of game, but it would make him attack so fast, and supplementing that with extra damage means more overall damage.
Yeah, so that wonderful DPS counter you're searching for.
Yeah, I still think Scotty would be great to just help kite out these. Scotty's is generally a really good item against strength heroes, just because they're usually melee, except for like Huskar and I guess Wisp. Is there another one I'm missing? I don't know. But they rely a lot on their positioning, and they get kited out frequently. So we'll see what he goes for.
Yeah. I'd also keep my eyes very closely on Mushy during a team fight, because if he dies and he dies to the Queen of Pain, the DK, and the Bristleback, that's a huge injection of money coming into these heroes.
Sure.
Because he's on a 702 KDA at the moment. Yeah. So that's a big streak that could be taken from the SF.
They also have the fail-safe of the Aegis right now, but Alliance are really, I mean, they're known for split pushing, and they're known for kiting heroes around and kind of wasting teams' times. So usually an Aegis against Alliance is not as effective against, say, an Aegis against other teams. Yeah. If you catch my drift. So
with this Aegis, he's already burned 2 minutes out of it, so...
Yep.
They're not finding it, and they're not going to make anything with it because he's the only player down this bottom lane. Loader, he's the one which is nearest to death, but he does have that BKB available if required.
Ooh,
the Fnatic aren't going for it at all.
They think there's more heroes behind him. They don't really see. Like, yeah, Maz behind him, but that's not enough. So they're a little bit scared. They don't have too much vision. They have 2 wards kind of in the same area, actually, interesting enough. But it doesn't spot out. It's actually kind of very weird, to be honest.
Interesting to fly to the KYX right now has a Mithril Hammer in his stash. So he's going to go into a BKB, but we've got a couple of incomplete items on the Drow Ranger already. So between Mana Style, like the Helm of the Dominator, so you can have an Alpha Wolf or potentially stack up Ancients for your team, this is all missing, or even finishing up the Mask of Madness, it just doesn't exist.
Okay, here's their timing push. So they want to use this Aegis, and they're having Mushy push down bottom. He is going to go for the Butterfly, which I think he just about has. Very close, and they're gonna smoke down here and actually push this.
But Alliance aren't gonna fight them. They have no need to fight them underneath the tier 2 tower. So you might kill a Admiral Bulldog in mid, but yep, there's your blink, Echo Slam, Totem Stomp, Hex, Finger Stun, Admiral Bulldog, Soul Assumption from Visage. Ends a little bit of a spree on him. That's a big commitment to kill off one hero. But it works because now Mushy can take the tier 2 tower.
This is like the best of everything. They're pushing top lane with the birds. They're keeping them inside their base, essentially. They got to kill in mid. They're pushing bottom. They're using well, they probably won't use the Aegis, but they're threatening with the Aegis, and that's sometimes just as strong.
He's fine. You're right with the Butterfly pickup from Mushy. So it's coming out in the courier at the moment. Loader and Pycat are the ones being tasked with pushing out that top lane. And this will give space to Arcade to farm up. I don't know if he's also searching for more farm on him to complete up the Aghanim Scepter, because they kind of need that on Arcade. Because that allows the DK and the Bristleback to be a little bit more over-aggressive on the side lanes, without always relying on having to have a TP.
Yeah, he's going to be really far away from that, though, going for the mech. And this is the problem, I think, with Lotus' item build this game, is that they weren't able to really do anything with this. They can't split, they can't group up and push now. It's just too late. They had a really good start early on, but they let Fnatic bounce back into this. And I really have to attribute that, honestly, to Mushy just playing so well. He's actually really taken over this game.
Well, that's one of his signature heroes, that Shadow Fiend. Well, looking for it in earlier games. TP out by Visage, she'll get away in time. A couple of familiars also going to find Admiral Bulldog, and then he'll also flag the fact they're in the trees. But you got to re-summon already over front of Visage. He didn't actually go for the Aghanim Scepter. He decided to go into Solar Crest instead.
Yeah, which I think is totally fine. I think this item is, I can't even say underused because a lot of people are using it, but I think it's underappreciated in terms of being able to push high ground, because so many situations, the best way to push high ground is just have that one hero sit up in front, and then everyone sit behind them and force them to go on your hero. But if you can put something that makes him so much more tanky, like just leaps and bounds more tanky for something so cheap, and honestly, a very, very, people don't talk about this, but it's a very far cast range. Like, you can cast it from pretty far away and keep yourself, you know, out of harm's way.
I hope Ohio is in the last couple of seconds of this Invis rune. He walked so close to Pycat, who ended up hanging in the trees in the top lane. It's like he's trying to sandwich in whoever's going to come to the top lane, or just creep skip it out and TP back.
Pycat's whole objective this game has been split pushing with his Axe ulti. Like, he hasn't really, he's just been trying to push out lanes, trying to decide if he wants to come back or not. But I don't think they can't fight this. God, Mushi is just so big.
Yeah. Are they going to go further? Mad, Fissure stun, and then just take him out so quickly. Like, they didn't really have a chance to survive. Pycat was hunting a courier, couldn't kill it off. So speed bursts us up back to the tower. Loda was looking to try and move in through the bottom lane, staring down the tier 2 tower, but Alliance has already had their tier 3 tower in the middle lane being chipped away, and Admiral Bulldog just buys Fnatic for now. It's a Heaven's Halberd. He's not trying to save that silence for anything else later on. He just goes directly into defense duty. And with the Illuminate, I got enough damage. Like, get rid of one of the familiars of Visage. But as we mentioned, he's got to resummon. It's only a level 1 Visage too. Level 1 familiar.
Yep. And I don't think that Fnatic actually I mean, dear God, they actually did a lot of damage to that tower. I don't even think that was their objective, though, to actually push the tower or push high ground. It was just kind of force them back, see how much damage you could get done, and then they want to wait for the next Aegis. Because they're going to have another full item on Mushi. They're probably going to have another full item onto the
it's a trap. Admiral Bulldog, Echo Slam, initial stun. Fitch is there too for Blinding Light. Pushes it back. Mushi does get the ulti up, and in comes the Sonic Wave from Pycat. Admiral Bulldog still alive for such a long period of time. They still haven't killed him. He's running away. Mushi doesn't have the damage required. Admiral Bulldog will escape. Mushi won't. He'll go down. Ohio so low, 55 HP. And man, this is why he's called Bristleback, because he was unkillable.
Oh man, he had the Crimson Guard activated too, and I didn't see, but I think maybe a couple of those auto attacks were affected by Blinding Light.
It was Blinding Light and Halberd, because he picked up the Halberd before the fight began, so he had like those two different ways that they could miss it. And KYXY is now being initiated on by Loda, who picked up that Blink Dagger, sticking close to the Dro, just trying to make it feel a little bit more insecure, and actually can die here. If Pycat committed, then he could have blinked, screamed, and Sonic Waved, but he had no idea what else was behind that Dro.
And I can't think of a better hero to get the extra surge of gold than the Quap. Like, she will do so much more with that gold, I think, than any other hero on his team, at least at this stage. Maybe you could argue like an Axe for Coddle would be great, but Bristleback essentially has everything he wants. DK, basically in this kind of setup game, this is all he wants to. I mean, this is like the core. But Quap can go so much further. She only has one real item and hasn't been farming that well, so she really needed that.
So what do you want to say? Is it the BKB we talked about previously? Is that still effective up against Fnatic at this point of the game? I
mean, it's obviously really good against ES and Lion, and he probably will have to get it at some point. You don't want to get it, though, because Drow and SF just don't care about it. I mean, I guess SF maybe does a little bit, but
so going for something like a Scythe will at least be a little bit more like the control is in the Lion's hands.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he can never jump in without a BKB, so maybe he does just go for that BKB afterwards. I know that he does love to pick up Scythe a lot for Pycat on the Quap, but I mean, we'll see. He still obviously wants to save for buyback. If they die in a fight, they could lose their base in a matter of seconds. That is the problem with Drow Visage, or just Drow in general.
Plus they can pick off a couple of them. There's a lot of farm to be had on that bottom lane. Someone should be heading down there shortly. It looks like it's going to be Arke. So far he's already picked up the Ogre Club. So it's just strength that he was able to buy without having to go up to the secret shop. But I'm still waiting for that Aghanim Scepter. Like we're talking about Blinding Light previously causing problems for Fnatic, combining up with obviously the Halberd, the Hood of Defiance, and a Crimson Guard. No wonder Admiral Bulldog keeps surviving the entire time. But when you have Blinding Light, and then you also add the heal that can come from Coddle during the team fight. Because again, you got no nighttime controls. There's no Luna, there's no Night Stalker, so you're not going to be able to switch the nighttime in.
Yeah, and they're actually going to smoke 3-man up top. Looks like they really want to get a kill onto this Drow. What's their initiation here? It's got to be like...
It's walking from behind with Admiral Bulldog. That's the initiation.
Wow, what a BKB!
They actually already used both the BKBs. Triple TPs are on the way, but now Admiral Bulldog finds Ohio. He's stopping that TP out right for the moment. The Fuse is the only man to survive Fnatic. Perfect counter initiation after what was a bit of a bumbled initiation.
I mean, the BKB reaction from KYXY was so fast, man. That was so. I can't think of a faster initiation than a Blink Dragon Tail from DK. It's nearly instant. The only thing you have to do is actually just walk and get into the range, but that's what the Blink is for. Very, very fantastic stuff from him. And then also, I don't think it really might not have mattered as there's a DD basically waiting bottom for them, introducing them into the Roshan pit if they want to.
Yep.
But
Dro takes Roshan in probably like under 10 seconds by doing this.
The Blinding Light pushed 2 heroes away, and then DK actually missed his nuke, which the damage reduction at this stage of the game is actually pretty big. And it was just kind of funny to see. And then I looked at the tooltip, and Dry actually had no damage be removed from him, so he was able to hit for full. And yeah, this is going to be a fast Roshan. He's actually going to save the DD for a later date because he's like, I can already take this out pretty fast.
Well, with an Aegis Steamroll and a double damage room bottled up by the SF, yeah, you could be looking to go high ground here as Fnatic. But at the same time, we thought they could do it before, and that didn't turn out too well. But they make sure the Tro range can at least stay alive and give her the Aegis the Immortal. The SF's already pretty well slotted, and he's getting very close to finishing up the Satanic. And they may just wait for the Satanic to be done on the SF.
Yeah, I'm wondering if MKB is in store as well. Like, he had kind of similar problems last game. We'll see if he remedies those problems in this game once it comes to it after he purchases the Satanic.
Oh, Admiral Bulldog, say hello to your new plate mail. Arcade's managed to pick up a point booster now. So this Aghanim Scepter for him is 1,300 goldish away. And Pike has decided to go in for either Scythe of Vice or Skadi over on this quad. It could potentially also be Lincoln Sphere up against the line. It's not a bad choice, but
he should be able to quickly use the Mana Drain and then the Hex afterwards. Although, I mean, you also, the same token, should be able to use the Blink Dragon Tail. Sometimes people's reactions are just too quick. A lot of it has to do with the vision. Maybe he saw him rushing in. I think it was daytime when he was blinking in.
It was daytime and the creep wave was in front of him.
Okay, well there you go.
DK walked past the creep wave.
So it's almost somewhat of a gamble BKB usage by KYXY, you know? But a gamble that heavily paid off in that instance.
And because of it, so much agility on him. Still only giving 66 bonus to everyone across the map. I say only. Bottom lane, Bushy, this is a big catch out. They've managed to pick up the SF and there's no escaping for him. The Rubik will actually take him out, getting 800 gold onto this little Rubik, which brings him very, very close to a Blink Dagger on that, or potentially a 4-star. There's another way they could go.
I'm really interested that Loda, or not Loda, Mushi went for that. There was no heroes on the map whatsoever, so it looked like, at least to my eyes, to be a clear bait, just because no one was showing at all. And not to mention, it was the Bristleback that he was trying to bully around down there, which is not a hero you can bully around.
He only had Johnny behind him, like that was it.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird play.
If you could blink Hex and Mana Drain out and keep him controlled for long enough, then maybe, yeah, they could have bullied around the Bristleback.
But there was no one showing, and the most they could do is bullying him around. Like, I don't think they can even kill him with those two.
Yeah.
Maybe they can. If they, like, hex, or, like, you know, stun him and run around and constantly try to attack him from the front, but that's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, he's familiar to such a nuisance, but not to Admiral Bulldog. I attacked him a couple of times, a very minimal effect, as we get BTs on Ohio. So he's quite happy to move everywhere across this map. And Fnatic, they do have this golden experience advantage, but it doesn't really feel like they've got the ability to finish this game still. It sort of keeps like coming down for me. I see a massive advantage, but at the same time, I've seen Fnatic do exactly the same thing, where they just push and they take out an entire wave, and then they take the base. If this happened with their Pugna build, the wonderful 5-minute long team fight they had.
Yeah, the bots will help with all this kind of split pushing that Alliance is doing. And I think that the choice to go straight Axe for Pycat over BKB ended up being the right one, just because he's bought a lot of time by constantly pushing out these lanes. If he hasn't been able to have that low cooldown, he obviously cannot use the Sonic Wave on creeps ever. But now he can. Oh, this is a blink-in actually from Loda, and then a blink-in from Matt as well.
They do not want this. Matt needs to get himself away. Loda looking for the stun, but gets stunned up himself. They can turn this into 2. KOXY kills off Matt. Now they move over to the Dragon Knight. Support's coming in from Pycat behind. Loda has to trigger the BKB, and they could try and turn and fight this. Sonic Wave hits on 2. Where's that Breathe Fire? Into the tree lines with a spill damage. It is that big Frost Dragon. They're being attacked by Mushi. They had to stun him up. Pycat being controlled. He's got his Blink Dagger off cooldown again. Now he's away to safety, but they've lost Loda with a Requiem build-up. Admiral Bulldog is tanking and just surviving. His back is into the Dro as well as the SF, which is where the damage is coming, and that's why SF jumps in front, and really he can only move to the cliff side to keep the back turned towards both of them. He'll still drop down a big double damager as well, gives more. And wow, where the hell did he just go? Behind the racks in the mid?
That was an ulti, but that forced out a buyback from Pycat. We'll see the glyph was popped as well. The damage coming out.
C-kick. There's the damage from Pycat. He'll finish the job. Killing off that Visage. Mushi staying around too long. KOXY. Mana leak. He's going to get stunned up. He actually ran out of mana, got stunned up. He has the Aegis Immortal available. And Mushi, he's got nothing to come back here for. Like, we've got Gust up as well from Mad. He's going to push KOXY back in with the Illuminate. One quick attack into Mad. I say one quick attack. He's actually going to get the kill in death. But still, you lose the Dro Ranger, you burn the Aegis, the Immortal, and you didn't take the racks. You heard the range, but you didn't take the melee.
Yeah, that death probably shouldn't have happened at the very end there, but got a little bit greedy. I think in the end, I mean, they used a lot, though, to defend that push.
It was two buybacks. They used Quap as well as Bristleback buyback.
Yeah,
but so in return, you also got now Arcade with the full Aghanim Scepter up and running.
Just great.
You keep your ranks alive up against what could have been a death push by Fnatic.
Yeah, I think the next Aegis is going to be way bigger, though. They're going to have cheese. They're going to have more items. Like, they had the Satanic now, which was, I think, ready to go for Mushi during that whole fight. He just didn't have the courier there ready to go. And that's pretty big. Like I said, MKB is obviously good. I really feel like MKB might be the... If it's not MKB, it's probably going to be Scotty. And it could also be Manta, but... That will help with some pushing. I believe Axe is finished. Yeah, he has enough gold for the Axe onto the Visage. This is also probably the biggest thing, because now split pushing is in the works, or it can be in the works if it comes down to it.
And what do you really do to stop that? Like, the only person that's got like a range attack to start with from the three cores is Pycat. Unless Loda wants to go to Dragon Form to chase down Familiars, but...
Honestly, the best way is, like, in daytime is the Coddle, because he can see through the trees and stuff, but he doesn't attack very fast, so... yeah, Bristleback's Quills can't kill it, so... It's hard. It's really hard to stop that, if it comes down to it.
Well, for now, Fnatic, they're going to 4-man smoke up, try and find an opening up against Alliance, as they will summon up those fresh Familiars. Mushi's the man just doing the push, and I think Fnatic are realizing that there's no one up here on the top lane. The closest they can get is Admiral Bulldog in the mid, but last time they tried to do this, it wasn't that successful. Because they jumped on Bulldog and he tanked through the entire thing, and then they got counter-initiated pretty hard.
Well, Mushi split pushing. It looks like they've done this several times, where they're trying to kind of fake them out by someone else pushing, smoking up, or finding a gank outside of them on a different part of the map. They did that after they pushed mid and then like faked back with Visage TPing bottom and then went for the second go. But we'll see.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Arcade's bringing him back. He's dragging Loader in so he can keep that farm coming. It looks like they're trying to rush up the Silver Edge onto the Dragon Knife. And in order to do that, they have to use the bottom lane to push it out. Rubik's still got his own Blink Dagger, so he's fine. He's just a little bit worried about those Familiars that are there too.
Is he going to go for the Silver Edge on DK? Does he have any of the other components?
He's just got the Sunge, and that's the only thing that's making me think about it.
I think he's going to go for a Halberd, because the way the Courier is where it's walking, that's looking like it wants to be Talisman of Evasion. We'll see, though.
You might be right. It makes sense, because there still are no Monkey King bars, and he's might have actually spotted out the Satanic that's being picked up too. Yeah, you're 100% right. So we get 2 Heaven's Halberds. The BKB durations, what do we got, 7 seconds as well as 7 seconds?
They're pretty healthy. I mean, it could be worse, and it will be worse. That is the important thing, it will be worse. Not to mention, it's just, even without the active ability, it's still a really good cost-efficient item to make yourself extremely tanky. Very, very tanky. The miss chance is extremely high. And it gives you some good strength, too.
Alliance are coming over to try and contest Roshan. There's a whole bunch of birds here. They're not going to make it easy for them, not to mention the Fissure, but we've got another, maybe now 40 seconds before Roshan's going to spawn up. Illuminate spam just in case Fnatic tried to pounce on that thing, but Admiral Bulldog there, she pounds over on Johnny with the Blink Dagger down. They've got the Lion dead. Mushi winds up the only, not that effective until he can start attacking into Mad, but he finds Pycat instead with the Gust. He's actually got silenced up. He'll go down for the count. No Pycat back available, but Loda's got the space to fight up here with the Familiar Birds. They turn on Loda, and the Dragon Knight is being brought down by many, many arrows, while Admiral Bulldog stands his ground. He finally brings down the Visage. The follow-ups on the KY KXY, they've got to stay on top of him right now. They cannot let him get any kind of space. He's into the trees, force off away. That's what we call space. He's away and up on the high ground again. The familiar birds and the fish are blocked down. There's no way to stop this. Roshan 4 seconds away from life. But you've got you've lost 2 cores from Alliance and Fnatic. They only lost their supports.
Oh, he's just fed off birds for nothing. That was really weird. They just sat there.
Oh, didn't move?
Sat there in the trees right here. Just a slow attacking Rubik killed all of them. That was very, very weird. Considering he's dead too, you would think he has a little bit of spare time.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Ohio gets a fissure on Matt. There's no follow-up at all. And in fact, Matt could follow up on him. He's got Earth Spike with that Blink Dagger, Telekinesis, and Fade Bolt.
But man, Bulldog is doing... He doesn't even have that many items. He's got 2, and then maybe some armor items.
It's better finish his Assault Cuirass. In 10 gold, he's got enough money for his Assault Cuirass.
It's extremely effective too, because not only just for the making yourself extremely tanky, but lowering their armor and then getting all those stacks up, you're hitting for so hard, and then lowering their armor at the same time too. It's obviously a really good item. But the Roche does fall. I think that's cheese too.
It is.
Yeah, cheese for the Drow. I think it's better they put the Aegis now on Mushi. I think he's dying a lot quicker.
The Lion Skeet's trying to, well, I say Lion trying to focus him, but it was the Lion they focused at the start of the last fight.
I mean, theoretically, Drow should drop faster, and she's the one that you should go on because 1, you'll disable her ulti, 2, you'll disable her marksmanship if she, or her precision, or if she dies. But SF has been playing a lot more aggressively, as he should be, so I think the Aegis is going to be a little bit more effective on him.
Well, we get back into this position again where Fnatic, they watch both sides, top and bottom lanes, and just try and keep the pressure on as much as they possibly can. Pyke's waiting. He does have the Hex, but, like, what do you want to go on here? And even Urshik is preparing himself in the lane with the Shadow Amulet. Walks in close, can't find anybody, walks straight back out again. If he actually gets that, jumps in with the Echo Slam, and then is able to like trigger Silver Edge and get rid of the Dragon Blood on DK or the Bristleback.
Oh, Johnny, oh god, yeah, he needs to be very careful.
Or Staff and Blink will help him get away from this.
Like, normally that would have worked, but because Coddle has Axe, he knows that he can see him. And as it just hits nighttime, that wouldn't have been a problem before.
A game of seconds. KXY is already forcing in the mid lane. The top lane's being pressured in by Mushi. And the bottom lane's got some momentum, but then Familiars are going to instantly stop this too. The only downside is from Kijik, he cannot bring in these Familiars for the fight. They're too far away. Mushi, blinding light, actually pushes them away from Loda, so he can't get the Dragon Tail stun. But it looks like they're trying to bait the BKB out of him, which isn't going to happen when you're walking around with an Aegis. Oh, there's your first stun. Manly, Pycat, Sonic Wave, forced off. Actually drains more of Mushi's mana.
He actually bottles them up though. Friendly bottle there from Ohio as well as the Force Staff. Trying to finally siege this. The Familiars have finally made it here, so if they wanted to do some kind of split pushing from between top and bottom, they can now. So they're trying to find some kind of entry here. We'll see if he can, because if he gets the damage up with those Drought Aura, it's going to die in a matter of seconds.
Where's that opening? KXY is being pushed back by Abra Bulldog, who was even happy to walk a little bit down the stairs. Just keep the back turn, they breathe fire and stun up the creep wave. And now, well, there it goes. Abra Bulldog even getting beaten down by KXY. They'll push him back. Visage does have a resummon available, so in 2 seconds time, yeah, the ping's already coming up saying, do you want to resummon this? There goes one Familiar, and there's only one left.
He can still work. This is even just as one. Look at that, 100 plus 172 damage from that one Familiar.
Taking the racks.
He'll resummon him right now. And you can go in with a fresh batch the next time. And they do have Glyph. They didn't want to use it just for the range racks, but they're going to want to use it soon.
Well, they got Mushi, pick up, throw down, stun as well. He's very, very low on mana. Remember, this Aegis Immortal is still in the hands of the SF. He's now completely out of mana, but Abra Bulldog falls the deep end. Ohio jumping in for the Echo Slam. Abra Bulldog's down for the count. Loda will come in with a big Sonic Wave. The damage is not enough to even kill off Ohio. And Pycat's got nothing else to give. The mid-racks will be dropping here in a moment. Loda's doing whatever he can to keep back these Familiars in this attack. They don't have a fallback, so they lose one of these Familiars down. Mushi, pick up, Loda. There's no stun. He blinked up, but didn't have the mana available to do so. Now he's going to bottle charge up, but you've lost your melee racks. KXY still on the run out of here. And Fnatic, they're happy to retreat. They took out mid-racks, took out the top tier 3 tower. What more could you ask for?
Really nice initiations this entire game from Ohio. Had a bit of a struggling time up in the top lane, as to be expected against a Bristleback. Missed a couple stuns here and there in the laning stage, but has really been on point with his Blink Echoes, and now has a Shadow Blade on top of that all. By the way, too, Mushi is ready to replace that Aegis with an MKB finally. So no more missing, no more shenanigans of missed chance for him, as I think it's a really needed item. But you saw, man, that the damage from the Bergs is just insane. And like you said, there's just no way to really combat it. They have no fast attacking heroes to kill those Bergs.
It's just the way Alliance drafted. And they're just buying up whatever they can to try and survive this now. As far as buybacks goes, Keeper of the Light's the only one with buyback. Everyone else is short of money, just over 1,000 gold in all of them. The Blinding Light will at least push Mushy back off the range ranks. Because he doesn't have that MKB on him just yet. Remember, that's the Aegis Immortal KOXY being picked up. Throw him back in again. The Mana Leak's on him again, so he's probably going to get... Yeah, no, the Mana Leak will wear off. So, no stun to him. The Rax, Loda jumping in. He really wants to get rid of this bonus damage. He's right on top of KOXY, and now he has to back up. The BKB's one off. Another Illumina. Is there a Breathe Fire available? 3 seconds away. And they're trying to chase it down a little bit further. Admiral Bullock on the front lines, and there's the blink in. Stun on KYXY. He's triggered the cheese, so he's back up the full again. But how long will he remain there? Admiral Bullock with the Crimson Guard, 71 charges. May as well trigger them now. He's so low. Kills off the Passage. Now he does. He's here with Ohio, but the fight completely split up. Johnny's there. Admiral Bulldog controlled by Ohio, but not dead just yet. Keeping his back turned. Mushy's on the way in. They're draining at the man. They got the kill. Pyko will at least get a snipe off as the Illumina does fly in. But you've lost 2 sets of racks. KYXY. He's down here looking for Mad. He's out of mana, and KYXY, does he have enough? Arcade's trying to just right-click him down. He can't do the job. Mad's the last man up in the mid. He will go down as well as Ohio just chases him in. And it really does look like a GG here. Fnatic still have the Drone Ranger up. She's low.
Oh, Quap really wants to go for this. There's low mana, actually completely out of mana on the Earthshaker.
Sonic Wave in 4 seconds.
Oh, he can't go for it. He doesn't have the vision anymore. But the damage has been done. They've baited out their buyback on the Coddle, not really that huge, but they got top racks, mid racks is cleaned up. Mushi, he wants more. Has that MKB now ready to go. It's almost like he wanted his Aegis to expire just so he could use that extra item. We'll get Mana Leaked here. Take some extra.
BKB 1 second though. And he could try and turn and fight this if he really feels pressured. Because he's got Satanic as well as BKB, so turns the Satanic on. Farms up the Creep Wave. Doesn't even care about the heroes. And now KOXY returns to the fight too. So they'll finish off this building. These supports don't even phase him. And in fact, Ohio, perfect blink in Fissure. And that may even be the game because this will be Megas. Drone Ranger finishes up a full Satanic. That's what she bought with all of her extra cash. And well, Loda does jump in. The Hex are there over on Mushy with the Breathe Fire, but Pycat silenced up because of the Gust back. The Megas are already available now, and this is it. It's now or never if Alliance going to get some big kills on these 2 cores. Mushy being stunned up, Arrow Bullet to the front lines. Johnny, he can't help him out at all. The Glimmer Cape is actually going to let him escape for just a second here into the tree line, then a blink away in time. But the SF unable to survive.
Oh, their base.
Yeah, the T4 towers are currently dying. They call GG. They realize their base is being just destroyed. And Fnatic will force this to a 3rd game. Reaching practically is an hour and 15 minutes if we start combining up the games together for how long this series has taken. So it's a bit of a marathon that's being run here at X Games.
I think just, again, I said it before, but I think just really well played by Mushi. Like, you could tell he really wanted to take over the game. I think his item build was very, very sound. Like, he's one of the SFs that really like to go for that early mech.